guys, Kate here. This week we're really going to be focusing on doorway manners, greeting people as they come into your house, and just meeting new people in general. So for the first exercise that I kind of want to go over and show you guys how to do, we're going to practice what happens when we open the door. So the reason that I want to practice this is because I want my dog to learn that every single time I open the door, that's not an opportunity for them to go running out of it. So if you do have a door dasher or a dog that's known to be a door dasher or possibly have that capability, this is a really good thing that you're going to want to practice. So a few things to keep in mind with this. I'm going to have both of my dogs on a leash when I practice this. Just I don't want them to have the chance to make that mistake and then have it be a really scary situation really quickly. So they'll both be on leashes, and I'm also using my front door because it's got two doors here. I've got the storm door on the outside and this door here as well. Just kind of adds an extra layer of security. If for whatever reason you don't have a storm door or somewhere that you can practice this, you feel like you can also do this like in your backyard where your yard is fenced. Just the idea that every time I open that door you don't get to run out is really what you're going to be focusing on. So practice this wherever it makes sense for your house, wherever you might be nervous that they could run out, but make sure you're taking the necessary safety precautions as well. So the couple tools that you'll need, obviously I mentioned that you are going to have them on leashes, but we are also going to be using some high value treats for this activity today. The main reason for that is I want the treats that I have in my hand and then the dogs coming to me being more rewarding than being able to run outside and see whatever's going on. Something else I do recommend if you don't do it already, I always keep this jar of treats right next to my door because you never really know sometimes when someone might come up to your door, ring your doorbell, and maybe come on in, hopefully not, but if that's the case, you want to make sure that you do have a jar of treats ready, just so that way you can control your dogs pretty quickly. So I always recommend having this here, but for today's purposes, we're going to use the high value treats to actually train the behavior. So I'm going to go ahead and call them over. Come here, Penny, Reggie, let's go guys. These are my volunteers today. Good job. I'm going to put them in a sit command. Sit. Good job. They've already got their leashes on, so I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up. And then all I'm going to do is I'm really just trying to teach them that every single time this door opens, even just a crack, they just have to stay put. So it's really just building on the skills that you guys have probably already worked on, which would be stay, wait, and look at me commands are the ones that we're going to be using today. So we'll go ahead and work on it. So if your dog is really prone to being a door dasher, typically if they're already on a leash and you start to jiggle your doorbell, that's going to get them pretty excited. So for starters, jiggle your doorbell. Look at me. Have them look at you when they do reward. Good job, guys. And I was talking to explain it, but you would also mark that and say yes when they do that behavior too. Look at me. Yes. Good. And then reward. So once you can get them to the point where they're not jumping up and down, getting really excited to go out the door, just at the jingle of the doorbell, go ahead and start opening it a little bit. So we're going to open it a crack. Look at me. Yes. Very good. Very good. And if for whatever reason your dog were to immediately go to the door, just shut it. Don't shut it abruptly. Don't make it something that's like a punishment. Just shut it softly, get their attention again, and then start over. And sorry, our door beeps every single time we open it. Come here. Good job. Good job. Great. So we're going to open it a little bit further now. Good job. Very good. Very good. Okay. And we're going to move and open the storm door. Try it the same way. Look at me. Yes. And you'll see there, Reggie kind of fidgeted a little bit. He acted like he was going to go out the door, but he did stay. So I'll go ahead and reward him for that. That's a good boy. Good girl, hand. Penny's kind of a pro at this game, so she knows what's up. Wait. Good. Yes. Very good, guys. Very good. And then the last thing I'm going to do to make it a little bit more challenging, and I would only recommend this if your dog is already doing really, really well with this. You have a secure place to do this. If you don't, I would probably use maybe a longer leash when doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and drop your leashes. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the door, I'm going to step outside, I'm going to make sure that they stay there, but I'm going to be in a position where I can see them, and also I can block the door if needed if they do try to run out. So stay. Yes, very good. So really all you're doing in that case is you're practicing your stay command, but this time you're walking out the door, which is something that they might want to be doing. Good job, guys. But make sure you do it safely and securely and somewhere where you're not at risk of your dogs running out. Good job. Very good. Very good. Alright, so now that we've kind of gone over doorway manners, we're going to work on the doorbell right now. So I don't know about you guys, but every single time our doorbell rings here, our dogs absolutely lose their minds. So we're going to work on how to manage that behavior, hopefully teach them that when the doorbell rings, they need to go to their place and remain calm. That one's a really good thing for you to be able to teach your dog. Dropping treats. Good job, bud. So I'll show you guys that. We're going to stage it at first, and then we're going to make it a little bit more random and sporadic, so that way the dog can really kind of get the hang of things. So for starters, I'm not really having them do anything in particular, but I am going to go ahead and put them in their places. Good boy. Sit. Good. Stay. Alright, so I've got everybody in their place right now, so I'm going to go ahead and ring the doorbell. They'll probably freak out for a second, and then I'm just going to reinforce that calm behavior to help desensitize them to the doorbell. So we got loud for a second. Like I said, I don't mind if they bark at first, as long as they settle down afterwards. So go ahead and reward this. So you're going to repeat this a couple of times, probably drive everybody in your house crazy for a few minutes, but repeat it a few times, and then once they kind of get the idea that I can make noise for a second, but then I need to settle down, go ahead and pair it with a command. The one that I use for that is just quiet. I got it, no more barking, let's just go ahead and settle down. So we'll show you that again. Quiet. Quiet. Ah. Quiet. Good job. Good. Good job. And so Guinness gets really, really excited when the doorbell rings. He got up, so I'm just going to walk him back to his place, have him settle down. Once he does, then he gets rewarded. Quiet. Good. Quiet. Good job. Good job. If you don't want your dogs to bark at the doorbell at all, you'll do the same thing, except without doing the quiet command. You're just going to reward them anytime that they're calm completely. So if you don't want them to bark at all at the doorbell, that's how you would set that one up. Like I said, though, I like them to bark initially, but then I want them to be quiet. So we'll try one more time. Quiet. No. Stay. Mika, stay. So we're trying to make it a little bit harder now by ringing it multiple times. Mika, come on. Take it up. Just go ahead and put them back in their place. Wait. I'm also asking Guinness to be quiet while he's sitting there. Quiet. Shh. Quiet. Good. Quiet. Good. 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 That was very good. Good job. Very good, guys. I just don't want them every single time they hear that doorbell to immediately freak out. Now, obviously, I think in this case, they know that we're practicing. They know no one's actually at the door because they can see that. But we'll go ahead and show you guys what would happen if, without planning, somebody were to come up and ring the doorbell. Alright, and so in this next case, while we're practicing getting used to the doorbell, I've actually got somebody outside. Reggie, who's out there? Somebody outside that's going to be ringing the doorbell for us. So we're just going to go ahead and pretend that this is an unexpected visit. I don't have my dogs in a place command right now. I'm going to have that person ring the doorbell. Once they do, they can bark for a second. I'll put them in their place. We're all going to remain calm. And then that person's going to open the door. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Place. Place. Good. Place. Wait. Reggie. Place. Good. Very good. Good job. Good job. Good. So see, everybody's in place. We're in a calm position, so we get rewarded for that. Wait. Wait. Go ahead and open this door. Wait. Good job. And that's how you practice working on the doorbell. Good job, friends. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to actually bring a guest into your house. Ours is a little bit trickier because we do have 4 dogs, but the general idea behind having somebody come into your dog is you want them to be in their place command, and then invite that person in, everybody holds their place. Once you feel like they're calm enough, you can release them, but they still can't jump on that person or do any activities like that. If your dog has stranger danger or any other type of issue to where this wouldn't be a good setup for them, go back and watch one of the stranger danger videos to learn how to manage that. Reggie has really, really bad stranger danger, but since it's my husband that's actually coming in, we're going to go ahead and keep him out here because I think he'll be fine with that. And I'll just show you guys when someone rings the doorbell, the steps I go through to make sure that everybody stays here. We are going to reward heavily as they stay and as that person walks in, just because you want to reward them for holding that position and not giving them the opportunity to make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and have that person ring the doorbell. Alright. Maybe ring it one more time. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, place. Place. Good. So I'm going to get everybody in their place. Penny and Reggie clearly don't care that much about the doorbell. Good. So I'm going to reward there for that. There you go. Good. And now I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a stay command. So stay. Stay. I'm going to open the door, invite my guest in, but I'm going to make sure I can still see my dogs, so that way if anybody does get up, I can walk them back to their place. Stay. How's it going? Dennis. Come here. Come here. Place. Good boy. Penny, place. Penny, place. Good. Stay. So if that happens, that is fine, especially when you're starting to train. What triggered them there was me saying hi to Will. So once I said hi, they immediately got stranger danger ideas. But essentially all you're going to do is put them back in their place, have them stay. Again, we don't get to greet our guests until we're actually calm. So this is good. Stay. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Good job. Oh, you okay? Wait. Stay. So again, nobody gets to get up yet. Nika. Get back. Sit. Good girl. Wait. Hey, Will.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, so once I feel like my dogs are pretty calm, I'm going to go ahead and let Will kind of walk over here. Stay. Good. Stay. And then once you feel comfortable enough, you can go ahead and give them the free command. So free. Free. So now they can get up. Obviously, Will's not really a guest, so they're not as excited to see him. But if I give them the free command, and let's say your dog is a jumper, you're going to want to control that behavior right away. So actually, this is really good because we're getting all excited. Ready? Ready, place. Good. Place. So if your dog were to jump or get really excited how Reggie just did, I'm just going to put him back on his place because when we have guests come over, we're calm, we behave like well-behaved dogs, and we want to make sure that they remember that. So again, let's go ahead and go back to place. Good. Good place. And sometimes it is the release word that actually gets them really excited. So if you notice every time you free your dog, that's when they get really excited and wound up. It might not necessarily be that there's a person in the house, but it might be the combination of the person, but also how you said your release word. So practice that too. So, okay, okay. So being a little bit more calm with it. Reggie, okay, Reggie, here. Good, good boy. Yes, here. Hey, come on. Good. And just let them do that way. Whenever I have guests that come over who haven't met my dogs before, I don't allow them to pet them, get really excited. We practice really hard on our dogs being calm when guests come over. So I usually have them in a sit command. We'll be talking like this. I don't let them look at the dogs or say their names yet until everybody's calm, and then maybe I have them give a treat or something. There you go. Give treats.
A treat.
Good. And if they're not already sitting, I'd have them ask them to sit, but since they're already in that position, that works. Mika, sit. Sit, girl. Sit. Good job, Mink. And that's kind of how you work on bringing someone into your house and then also introducing a new person to your dog. Again, this is not ideal for every single dog. If your dog has stranger danger, if you're not sure how they are around new people just yet, or if they have any anxiety, you'll want to consult somebody before trying something like this. But this is generally the kind of goal that you want to work towards.